Coming up on This is the Northeast-10, student athletes getting together to represent their schools and coming together to make one big Northeast-10 team. We'll take you to St. Rose to meet a coach who inspires her players and others. I'm Lauren Battista from the Bentley University women's basketball team, and this is the Northeast-10. Welcome to This is the Northeast-10 from Bentley University, home of the NE10 women's basketball champions. This season, our team made it all the way to the Final Four in San Antonio. It was a great thrill, and although we didn't come back with a national championship, we have memories that will last a lifetime. Congratulations go out to the Stonehill men's basketball team. After pulling off a thrilling win in the Elite Eight, they made it to the Final Four. And even though they lost in the semifinals, it was a great year for the Skyhawks. Let's close out the basketball season at the College of St. Rose and take a closer look at head coach Karen Haag. She's battled cancer and won, which inspires her team.
I see it in your eyes. I see how you approach practice. I see how you look right now. I think you know a coach at St. Rose is set up to be successful. I mean, I like to think I have a little bit to do with it, but I really do think that all the pieces are in place for someone to be successful. Let's go get these guys. Come on, come on. We try to be positive. You know, I think a huge part of what we do at St. Rose is to have relationships, and I really treasure and value my relationships with my players, and because those are pretty well established, I think you can get on kids, but they still know that you love them.
Yeah, you gotta be confident with the basketball, kid, all right?
You get a hug or a pat on the back here or there. It's how I like to be. I can get my edge, but for the most part, we try to stay positive.
Yes! She sees our potential, and she knows that how good we can be.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Middle!
One of the things that she always says, and we constantly tell ourselves, is that you're way stronger than you think you are, and I will never forget that. She said that to me one time, and that's honestly what I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life.
I know when I'm tired in a game or like when I'm hurt, I'm like, my coach, you know, she went through so much worse, so I should push myself that much more.
I started in 1999 when I was coaching at Wilkes University. I was diagnosed at the age of 37 with stage 1 breast cancer, so it was actually during basketball season. So I had my surgery on a Monday, and I think I was back on the bench on Saturday, and I went through chemo and radiation. Never took the sabbatical day, but actually it was the best thing for me, it was the best therapy for me. So I coached through all of that. I also actually had cancer again in 2008. I think it does give you a big picture kind of thing, and just knowing that what's important for my student athletes is finding that strength and tapping into it and learning how to overcome adversity. And then we talk about that all the time, and you know, I worry about them so much when they get their first major blow in life. Are they going to be ready? And I think this basketball experience helps them, and I like to think that maybe me sharing my experiences about cancer maybe gives them a little insight into that as well. Our Think Pink Days, now you come to our gym. Last year, my team gave me a gift engraved "We Wear Pink" for our coach. So, yes, it's special.
She's just an inspiration to anyone, I think, who comes into contact with her. Like, even people who don't get to be with her on a daily basis like we do. I just know how much respect everyone has for her with, you know, starting Camp Brave Hearts.
What it is a retreat program for women dealing with a cancer diagnosis or women who are cancer survivors. We hope people leave camp realizing that they're stronger than they ever knew they were, and that's something that cancer gives you, that gift, after you go through the surgeries and the treatments. I get inspiration from the women, you know, the women that I see at Camp Brave Hearts that are dealing with metastatic disease and continue to fight and continue to laugh and giggle and you know, try all these new things. I get inspiration from my kids. I get inspiration from watching them. I get inspiration from loving relationships, and I think that's why I love coaching. I find the capacity of the human heart to bring out the best in people is probably the most inspiring thing I can think of.
Coming up, representatives from all 16 schools of the NE10 got together to discuss issues at their schools and across the country. A chance for their voices to be heard on the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. Welcome back to This is the Northeast-10. I'm Lauren Battista of Bentley University. Now let's take a look at some of the other recent NE10 champions. St. Anselm College won the ice hockey championship for the 3rd straight year, topping Stonehill 4-1 in the title game. It's the 7th title all-time for the Hawks. It was a clean sweep in the pool for the Southern Connecticut Owls, taking the men's and women's team titles. The Owls' Amanda Thomas went on to win 2 NCAA titles, earning Division II Female Swimmer of the Year. And on the track, the Southern men and UMass Lowell women were champions. Away from competition, the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAAC, met to discuss issues at their schools and got a chance to give their feedback to the league.
We're kind of the voice on our campus for all our athletes in general, and I'm also interested to see how the opinions of other athletes, what they have to think, what types of issues they deal with at their schools, see how similar and how different they are to ours. And it's just kind of an honor to be represented as a SAAC member in the conference as a whole and eventually in the nation.
Talk about different possible regulations that the NCAA wants to install, and then we bring it back to our SAAC board and we all vote on the certain regulation. So we all say yes or no. So it's nice to have like an input into what an NCAA regulation might become.
This is my 3rd year on SAAC, and I'm running for a position next year on the board. And I just see it as such a great organization. It really gets, we get to voice our opinions to the NCAA, and they have their feedback to us. It's really quick. And it's really nice to just have your voice heard and see that, you're getting results for your input.
I'm really excited to meet all the other student athletes. This is my 1st year on SAAC, and it's really a privilege for me, and get to see what their lives are like and how athletics are for them and how they manage to do school and academics and leave time for other things as well. So I'm excited for that, and definitely excited to speak my voice and have my voice be heard today.
It's not all talk. Fun and games are an important part of any SAAC meeting to build relationships and friendships among rivals.
It's just a nice group cohesive thing, so we can all get together, we can all find out how each sport is doing. It's nice to get to know some of the other kids who play the different sports.
Definitely benefit, because that's like my roommate tonight. She's from Bentley, and that's a huge rival for us. So I was kind of like, oh, you're from Bentley, interesting. But it's cool at the same time. It's on the field, yeah, we want to beat them, but they're normal athletes that just want to succeed as much as I do.
It's an awesome feeling because you really feel like you're a part of something bigger and you have the ability to give back, which is really key. And sports is just something that you're able to connect a lot of people through sports, and it's even better to give back through something that you love.
The SAAC groups on each campus have their own ways of helping out and giving back to their communities. The Northeast-10 Conference was the first conference to have a partnership with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, a partnership that has grown to include all of Division II. Last year, NE10 student athletes raised over $35,000 for Make-A-Wish, the most raised by any conference. Thank you for joining us for This is the Northeast-10. We'll be back with another show later this spring. I'm Lauren Battista. Go Falcons!